My name is Conway Mothobi, and I'm based here in Manchester at the Manchester Metropolitan University. And I'm going to talk to you about Mars exploration. Behind me, you'll notice that we've got a fantastic picture of Mars, which was taken by the Pathfinder rover, and that was taken from its Carl Sagan station, and it's absolutely wonderful. But let's not leave it there, because a while back I had the opportunity to do a tour with two cosmonauts, that's Alexander Martinov and Alexander Volkov. And this was during the period of Expedition 14 of the International Space Station. And that tour was absolutely wonderful, because what we looked at was, one, the Volkov side of things, which said from Mir to here, where Mir was the Soviet spacecraft, which was the Space Lab, which was up there. And then the other part of it was mission to Mars. Why mission to Mars? Mission to Mars is quite important because Alexander Martinov had landed so many of the robotic missions on many, many planets and their moons, and also landed the Soyuz crafts on Earth. And basically it meant that we had a lot of knowledge when we take what had been done by the Russian Federation and Roscosmos and what had been done by NASA to actually start looking at how we can move on to Mars, which is why we actually have got this little sign here, which actually shows us a wonderful logo for the ISS, the MKC, during Expedition 14. I've got a bigger one over here, which shows you how that was designed, because we have here Earth, and then we have here Mars, and this is our own moon on Earth. And basically it was because Expedition 14 was, how do we prepare to move on to traveling to Mars? The research which was required. The research which was required about radiation in space was done or started at that point. There are a number of people who have actually been involved in these kind of things, and it is absolutely exciting that we now have got that, because it is not just ourselves, really. It is about our children being the ones who are going to be on Mars, whom we should create a situation where they benefit from what we do, i.e. science can actually be good, not only on Mars, but here on Earth, because these missions teach us not only about other planets, but it teach us a little bit more about our own planet. And Volkov was an amazing person when we did this trip. We went round to schools, we went round to colleges, and they were all wowed by his stories of being on Mir. And then to cap it all, then we also had Alexander Martinov actually giving his side of landing crafts and the whole space program. And it is interesting that with the International Space Station, the cooperation between Russia and the United States, and then later with other countries like Japan, has made it so important that we work on space missions, because that way it's not that we learn a little bit more about our own Earth and about our own scientific development, but also it means that we generate a much, much better climate for our own international relations. Because if everyone tried to work as how people work on the International Space Station, it would be such a wonderful world. I mean, they don't fight one another, they don't swear at one another, everything is nice. So really, space exploration is what I love. And it is on that basis that I think that, we can sort of talk about where next, because there are a lot of stories now about people being able to go to Mars, people dying, wanting to die going there, but I would just say, please, 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 ignore that. Try and look at it from a position of science, to actually say, right, if it can happen, we want to send people there and bring them back alive. This is what we've always done in space exploration.